First half, very good, especially considering we were under so much pressure in a must-win game. For us to play as sharp and aggressive and confident as we did in that first half, I was very pleased with that. Should have had a couple more goals, obviously, which would have made life a lot easier in the second half. Second half, I thought, probably because the pressure's off Colorado, they started to push numbers and had the better of it. But if you can't get the second goal, you got to buckle down, grind, and that's what we did. It wasn't pretty. We certainly, I felt, invited too much pressure. Didn't create enough going forward. But like I said, first half good, second half did what we needed to win, which means now if we win versus Vancouver, we're in.
Do you like the situation where you can just win and in? Obviously, loss or even tie, other scenarios happen, but you don't have to be thinking too much about the scenarios going in.
Yeah, I do like that. I kind of like that in this game as well. I said it during the week, and it's interesting because no one was seeing that Salt Lake, Seattle last game. Everybody's talking about Kansas City, and for me, I felt like it was going to be Seattle or Salt Lake who fell out. And that's ultimately where it's at right now if we win, because they play each other. So really, when you look at it, there are four teams who none of us are free and clear. None of us are out of the woods yet. So it flips everything on its head, really, when you look at it now, because now every single team is under pressure in the last game, not just us. And we've already been in that mindset. So I told the guys today, playoffs start now. We win, we advance. Next game, we win, we advance. So we have that mentality right now. And it is good to get a clean sheet, even though it wasn't great going forward for us to buckle down and, bend but not break and get out of there with a clean sheet. Sometimes in, playoffs, tournament football, that's what it's about, grinding out a 1-0 ugly win.
Jack, how long do you have to savor the feelings from before the game, from after the game? You guys are turning around and going to playing CONCACAF pretty much right away.
Yeah, probably think about it a little bit tonight. The reality is we got a quick turnaround and a huge game in Champions League on Wednesday that's very important to this group and this club and the organization as a whole. So I think for us it's moving forward to that game. Obviously, I think my wife before the game said it best. She's like, make sure you soak it in tonight. There are going to be some special times. I didn't know what that meant, but there were a lot of them, and it was a little emotional at times and kind of fighting back the tears. It was a bit overwhelming, but first and foremost, we wanted to get 3 points today, and just glad that happened, and it was a positive day. So,
Coach, Will mentioned Champions League in that week. Did that influence how you managed the game specifically in regards to the minutes for Darren and Diego?
Yeah, a part of it, is those guys had to come off. But with Darren in particular, we felt he was only capable of playing about 60 minutes, and we knew we had Luka to go in, and like for like, that was always the plan, kind of a 60-30 split, and then obviously with the Wednesday, kind of reverse it. With Valeri, we knew he had a tight hamstring. We had planned to probably get him off. But he started to get tight there at the end, and ultimately we had to get him off. So I don't think we re-aggravated it, so we'll see. But I think we got out of the game with those two guys being healthy. What complicates things a little bit this week now is, Ben Zemanski's been out. That was kind of missed Linda last week, but he's out through definitely next week. He had a collapsed lung. So every week there's something new for me. I've never had a player with a collapsed lung. So he's out, so that kind of now we're managing that. And then obviously Ridgie and Char are going to be out for the weekend's game. So they'll definitely play Wednesday, but they were going to anyways.
Are you saying when you say Dan, is Zemanski out for the Vancouver game?
He's out all next week, yeah. Maybe longer.
And is Gleason okay?
Gleason will be all right, yeah.
I think obviously the elephant in the room heading to Vancouver, needing the win in all likelihood to get into the playoffs is the road success to date. How much confidence do you think the team has now going back on the road in a which the playoffs are at stake, and also to Cascadia Cup.
Well, if the playoffs really started today, then it's a new season, so we're unbeaten on the road, That's the way I look at it. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've got 12 wins at home this year. I mean, for us to have 12 wins, which is a club record, and to be still in a position where we're not, that's tough, right? Because you look at our season, and it's like a tale of two seasons, really. Our season at home has been as good as ever since I've been here. The way we've played, the way we've gotten results, everything. And then on the road, it's, been the complete opposite. A lot of it, though, has to do with the holes we've had in the team. When you can look back through the lineups, that tells a story. We've been a little bit thinner on the road with our personnel. Part of it, too, is I just think we didn't get a couple early wins that we should have. And just like anything, it builds and pressure builds. But, we've had some really good games at Vancouver. We've played really well there. We've won there twice since I've been here. And this guy over here, I know, smashed a game winner there to win the Cascadia. So we're excited. We still have 2 games left, and everything's still in our hands, and we control our destiny on everything. That's great. That's not the position we were in 2014. In 14, we had to win and hope for a result. In this one, we win and we're in. That's a great feeling. We win Champions League, we're out of the group, and if we win that last game, it's playoffs and Cascadia Cup. So, we just got to take it one at a time. We got 2 left. But if we do that, I like our chances on the knockout game too, because then now that's 3 on the spin and first road game, and we roll it right into the knockout game. So we can't get ahead of ourselves, and we can't pat ourselves on the back tonight. We got to just move on and focus tomorrow on getting ready for Wednesday.
How concerning is it to play a team like Vancouver that really has nothing to lose, and them trying to play spoiler or playing back, trying to
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
lock up the game?
they have to. I think we're up 3 goals in the Cascadia Cup, so I think they have to try to beat us by a few goals. So I think ultimately they're going to want to open up and attack and play, and I think that's good because that'll allow us to hopefully find more chances as well. And like I said, we've played really well there for whatever reason. Had a really good win last year in the playoffs there, and in the regular season as well. So I think it helps having that Cascadia where they know they have to kind of open up, and if they want to win that, they got to beat us by more than 3 goals. I think that's what it is, right?
It's been more the attack on the road that's been troublesome than the defense. That's not been the case here, where the attack has banged in goals with regularity. In fact, I don't think you've been shut out yet at all at home this year. Why has that been? Why do you think it's been the attack that's been the bigger problem on the road?
I think it's it's hard to come up with one answer for that. There's a lot of reasons. I think it's a combination, like I said, of having some holes in the squad, on the road in terms of personnel. I mean, this lineup we played tonight, we haven't lost with that lineup, so, and the last 3 times we've played that lineup, we've won all 3 of those games. So when you look back on the 2 games, prior to this one, after the Philly game, we lost Vitas, and then after the Houston game, we lose Darren. And so it's been, when you look back through the lineups, I know most of you guys won't do that, but, I have. When you go back through the lineups, there's a direct correlation with when the majority of our holes were in our team, personnel, international duty, injuries fell on the road. So we haven't been quite as strong in terms of our lineups on the road. So that's one thing. I think the second thing is, some of these games that we've played more than ever have been in high heat, and we've given up the first goal as well, which compounds it. But, I think, and the third thing is we've played more because we chose not to play through international windows except for one. We played in more compacted windows than ever. So a lot of our road games were in 3 and 7 or 3 and 8. And so, these are all things we're aware of, and certainly the biggest thing is, can we stay healthy, and, can we look at the scheduling to see if there's something there that we can do better. I can't change the heat. That's not going to change. But, I think those are factors, but not excuses, because the other side of it is we just haven't played as aggressive on the road. It's not really by design, but I think for some reason, it's played out that way. The Houston game's a great example. I mean, our plan was to be aggressive in that game. You saw the start of the second half, but for some reason the first half we weren't. And at home we play aggressive, and that's the way we need to play on the road. That's probably why we won 7 games last year, 7 games a year prior, is because if you ask the team, we usually don't try to change our approach home and away, but for some reason we have. But part of that is if you don't have your top group, it's more difficult to play proactive, soccer, and I think that's what's happened.
Coach, Jack, both of you, the mere familiarity of the Vancouver trip, of the Seattle trip, does that make it a little bit easier to look at this in a different light, separate from the rest of the road performance, just having done that trip, the shorter trip, over and over and over again?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. We've, you've been there multiple times. It's an easy trip. It's a quick one for us. But the reality is it comes down to one game for us now to extend our season. And so I think that just changes the mindset as a whole. It's not the 6th game of the season on the road where it's hard to see the end line. It's do or die when we go to Vancouver. And, whether that was, last year in some of these road games, it gets you ready for the playoffs where you've got to win or you're going home and the season's over. And so I think that was the message going into today from Caleb, is that if we don't get a win today, this could be season could be over if some other results don't go our way. And guys stepped up, and I think with this group, what you've seen is that when our backs are against it a little bit, everybody steps up and you get the best. And I know I'll probably get the question all week, as will Caleb, about what are we going to do different on the road. And yeah, it's not easy to put your finger on one thing, but I'll tell you what, this group will come firing out next weekend, no matter who's in the lineup. And we'll look to get 3 points, and we'll look to extend our season.
I think it does help, just to piggyback that. It helps that we've got a good number of guys in the lineup that have won a lot of games on the road in the past. So I know you guys get tired of hearing that, but we've won 14 games on the road prior to this year. So when you look at guys in the lineup that were a part of those results, I don't think anybody's worried about the road, even though maybe we should be, but I think in some ways the group still has a lot of confidence going on the road. It's more frustration, like how do we not win on the road type of thing. But we don't give an own goal. LA Galaxy early in the season, that's 3 points. We don't give an own goal late, stoppage time. I think it was New England on the road. 0-0 on the road versus Colorado. That probably could have turned. We had a few chances. So we've been right there, and I think that's why there's frustration a little bit. It's not like the guys, have lost confidence or feel like they're a bad road team. It's more like, WTF, right? That's what so I think they're ready to exercise those demons and to win this game, and then that rolls right in the knockout, which we're going to be on the road in that. So.
Last one. You talked about taking a moment to soak in the evening tonight. What did it mean to have the response that you got from the crowd this evening at Providence Park?
I mean, it means the world to me that in 6 years that I've been here, those fans and the people in this organization have been a huge part of my life, not only mine, but also my girls. And so to have them on the field and be able to experience that was emotional. And it'll be, this will be a day that I'll definitely never forget. And I just want to thank, all you guys, all the fans. I know sometimes we give you guys some grief, but at the end of the day, I think you, for the most part, you're on our side. So, it was an emotional day, but it's hard to put into words, to be quite honest. Didn't know what to expect from it all, but was definitely blown away with all the support.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.